Aloha and good evening to the world. Who I am is not important, but what I have to share is very important. Just wanted to talk stories about what's happening in the world today a little bit, try to get people up to date with knowledge because there's lots of disinformation, a lot of wrong information, a lot of history that we would never taught and never meant to know, ever. But I would like to share it because it involves my people, not just my Hawaiian people, not just Hawaiian Kingdom, not just anybody who everybody in this world is affected by uniform commercial code, or what I like to say the concept of the world of UCC. And the world of UCC is a construct of time. We could go back to the Caesars of Rome, or we could go back to the 1871 Constitution of America, when it went from for America to of America, the Constitution of America. So what happens is, what I'm trying to say is there's a uniform commercial code, which is represented in blue, which is considered the law of the sea, UCC, Uniform Commercial Code, and there's a law, God-given rights, called common law. Common law is represented by red. Common law is unalienable rights given to us by a creator, whoever that is. I'm going to use God, Jesus Christ, for this example. Your creator gave you rights that cannot be taken away. It cannot be taken away whatsoever, and that's why it's called inalienable. So what happens is, using the Hawaiian Kingdom as an example, in 1893 now, a group of white businessmen, doesn't even have to be white businessmen, a group of Freemasons, call them whatever you want, because that's what they were. They were a group of people who came together and decided to hijack the Hawaiian Kingdom. And how they did so was after many years of manipulation. But between the 1880s, what happens is there are certain people that got into the power of the kingdom and changed the laws. And what they did was they changed the laws commercially in the Hawaiian Kingdom before it was ever taken over illegally or by the de facto, not the de jure. By the de facto meaning the oligarchy, Lauren Thurston, Freemasons, all those guys that came together and basically overthrew our king, our king, manipulated him, overthrew our queen by force. So anyway, in 1893, fucking confusing numbers. In 1893, what happens was the Queen Liliuokalani, our queen, signed over the government to the de facto government, saying, I will give my sovereignty up until a time when the world recognizes it and say, well, this was wrong and we can give it back. So what happens is it doesn't matter, because a lot of people consider it an illegal overthrow. And what I'm trying to show and what I'm trying to prove is it wasn't illegal, because in the Uniform Commercial Code, which existed since the Caesars of Rome, since the Pope, that's how anything is traded. UCC, it actually divulged from Maritime Admiralty Law. So that's that. Maritime Admiralty Law back in the 1600s, 1700s. Today, we call it statutes, regulations. Like I said, state of Hawaii has statutes and regulations, and the federal government of the United States Corporation that was created in 1871. And so on and so forth. Anyway, like I said, getting back to the kingdom. This is a long story. It's connected with everything, but I'm trying to simplify everything and make it understandable. So we have Uniform Commercial Code. We have the common law. The Hawaiian Kingdom, I wouldn't say was created in 1840, but the Hawaiian Kingdom had a constitution in 1840 that said everybody was basically had their own rights. So what happens was it changed from a monarchy to a constitutional monarchy, giving people rights, giving ownership and property of land, so on and so forth. What I'm trying to say is that constitution is under common law, which is the same idea and constitution of the American Constitution of 1776 and the Bill of Rights. What happens is that was common law constitutions. Over time, like I said, in 1871 and so on and so forth, what happens is common law was slowly becoming taken over by UCC, Uniform Commercial Code, Admiralty Law. And a lot of people, you can go back, Jordan Maxwell, a lot of people talk about this. Go look up the straw man. Go look up that in 1933, America became bankrupt. But I'm getting ahead of myself. What I'm trying to say is the Uniform Commercial Code is the de facto government that basically took over America and Hawaii. And this is what we never talk about in Hawaiian history or Hawaiian studies or Hawaiian anything, that there was actually a lot of corruption going on in the kingdom that changed the laws before corruption totally happened in America. And what I mean corruption is, I mean in 1933, a lot of people know America went bankrupt. And to this day, everybody used dollars and Federal Reserve notes now. To this day, everybody uses them because that's the only legal tender, because gold and silver was recalled by the American government in 1933 through Executive War Acts, reclaiming the gold, telling you gotta take it in before we arrest you, or you gotta pay all these fines. So they took all the gold, and what they did was they converted everybody into assurities, even the future, even the kids of whoever was born in 1933. The proof of that, today, you have a birth certificate, which I'll show you. Everybody has a birth certificate. This is a certificate. This isn't a real copy, but it is a certified copy. Hopefully you can see that somewhere. It is a certified copy. And what it does is when you're born when you go to the doctor and you're born, what happens is they issue a certificate of live birth, but they also make, I guess you could say a copy of you, or a fictional person of you, in all capital letter name. Like I said, I could go on forever about this, but I'm trying to make sure I fit everything in one 10-minute video, like an introductory. Today, this is my California license. I live in Hawaii, though. Well, be careful with the words, but anyway, everything is in all capital letters, if you can see that. Everything. Go ahead, look at your bank account, all capital letters. I'll get you this quick little mail that you can't really see. It's a bill that I pay. What happens is everything is in capital letters. So what they did was they made a fake you in the Uniform Commercial Code, but there's a real you who exists in common law under God. So like I said, there's lots of things about law that I'm kind of skipping through, but like I said, this is for entertainment purposes. But if you'd like more videos, and I would like to make more, give me feedback, and I would love to make a lot more explaining a lot of things. So going back to Uniform Commercial Code, in the 1880s, the people, the powers that be, Illuminati, the people above the Illuminati, the judges, whoever you want to call it, it doesn't matter, because I'm just trying to teach you guys that people above them messed with these laws, and they made the Uniform Commercial Code a fictitious real thing that happens to this day, but it's not real. It's all contract law or admiralty law, equity law sometimes, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Everything Uniform Commercial Code is here. Under God, we're given God-given rights, and nothing can take that away unless we consent to that. So we give permission to the de facto over the de jure. So the Queen Liliuokalani in 1893 was still the de jure government. She signed over, when she signed over her sovereignty to the oligarchy, the people in charge, Lauren Thorstons, Freemasons, whatever, she signed it over to them. Then America eventually got it. And it doesn't matter if it was by gunpoint or not. 1887 bayonet constitution with Kalakaua was the same thing. They were forced to sign something. So in UCC, being forced to do something, it doesn't matter what you do. All you need is that signature. When the Queen signed, she gave away the sovereignty, her sovereignty, the Hawaiian people's sovereignty, the sovereignty of the government. She gave that away to the oligarchy that eventually gave them to the United States. So what I'm trying to say, Hawaii became a de facto legal entity in 1893, or in theory, everything is in theory. In theory, it became a de facto government. So Hawaii, a lot of Hawaiians fight for sovereignty, which is good. I would love sovereignty in itself too, but it's kind of impossible because everything is a legality in the Uniform Commercial Code. Hawaii is still kind of free in common law, but what happens is everybody gets pulled into Uniform Commercial Code. So today, let's fast forward from the kingdom to the state of Hawaii. Hawaii became a state eventually, very deceptively. But no matter what, you are in the Uniform Commercial Code through the state of Hawaii, which is incorporated to the United States. Now, the video is coming to an end because 10 minutes is over here. But all the laws of the Uniform Commercial Code applies everywhere. So if you get a ticket for running a red light, if you get a ticket for jaywalking, once you show them your all capital name, because you signed up for a license or a social security number, you did it voluntarily, you asked for them, you wanted their privileges and benefits to drive on their roads, when you don't need to join their system because you are under God common law. That's the main thing. You are traveling. Go look up the difference between traveling and driving. Go look up the straw man. I got 9 seconds left. Go do your research, guys. Watch this video. Tell me if you want more. Give me likes if you guys want. Have a good day.